podcast land. This is Travis with the Broken Battery Entertainment Pop Culture Podcast. I am coming straight out of you from Casa de Coogan with my current co-host, one Joe Coogan.
I prefer to go by Joseph.
Joseph Coogan for
that?
It's
very, very formal.
Super formal, and that's fine because he does own exactly 1 square mile of land in Scotland. He is a lord. A vassal of Scotland. But, anywho, this is his first time on the show, and hopefully he'll be in many more if I don't bore him to death. And basically, we're going to be doing a topic that I am really, really fond of because we came off of it off the top of our heads. It is the worst sidekicks in media. Like the sidekicks that you're just kind of like, what the fuck are they doing? Why are they there? This is just awful. And they basically annoy the piss out of you. But before that, I'm going to do something I do every week on the show. We're going to do a spotlight on a type of media, like something in the media that we enjoy that we don't think get enough spotlight. One of them is a comic book called Oblivion Song by Robert Kirkman. I would suggest everybody go out there and check this comic book out. It's well written, and like most of Kirkman's stuff, I guarantee you it's probably going to go up in price. So do yourself a favor, check it out. That'd be great. And let's get to the topic of the day, or nighttime, depending on where you're at. I don't know time zones.
They didn't know what time it was until you told them.
It's Miller time, Joe.
It is.
So we got a pretty nice list going for annoying sidekicks or useless sidekicks, and we're not talking about evil sidekicks because henchmen fall in a category all by themselves, and they're supposed to be annoying, they're supposed to be inept, and they're supposed to suck, unless they're like the head henchman, right? Like Destro
or Snaggletooth
from
the Laugh Olympics.
Oh God. Nice. I would have never expected a Laugh Olympics reference on here, but I am very glad that we did that. Okay, so I'm gonna get the ball rolling, and I'm gonna say I fucking hate Orko.
Well,
I hate Orko from He-Man.
Well, I mean, when you don't have legs or technically a face, or you have a bunch of stuff against you. From the start,
or competency. I mean, like he literally everything he did, he messed up.
It was bad.
And who wears like the initial on their shirt of who they are? It's not like you're wearing a giant J on your shirt. I mean, like Superman can pull it off because he's Superman.
Well, I was just gonna say, who wears their initial on their shirt? Superman was the first thing that came to my mind. So
Superman pulled it off first.
Yeah.
And then Orko's like, yeah, why not? I don't know what the fuck I am. I'm just like this black thing underneath this like curtain.
The toy wasn't even good.
No, the toy was awful.
It was the rip zip thing.
Did it come by itself?
Oh yeah, it came by itself. It was pretty bad.
It's one of those things you expect in a fucking 2-pack.
The Cringer, Ochre,
you get Cringer, and you get Orko.
Cringer and Orko at the same time.
Yeah,
so we could talk about Cringer too, who was completely useless until he came to Battle Cat.
Oh, he did become Battle Cat, and he fucking owned then.
That's right.
Because I remember he was scared of everything. I'm like, yeah, you're a purple tiger. No, he wasn't purple. He was green. He was a green giant tiger.
Yes.
Man, that's like having knives for hands. And, like, not, like, owning it. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you have giant blades on your arms and you're like, yeah, dude, I don't want no trouble.
Yeah.
You just take my wallet. I mean, if they got a gun, maybe. But,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
There's just some dude's like, hey, give me your wallet. I don't need it.
Who do you got up next on the...
Oh, jeez. I have... Jeez, we're going to go with Snarf. We'll go with Snarf.
Okay. Well, first of all, the Thundercats is completely unwatchable in any way, shape, or form.
Are you talking about the original Thundercats?
The original, yeah. I mean...
You've never been a big Thundercats fan, have you?
I thought I was supposed to like it.
Yeah. There's a few things that are kind of unsettling.
Every commercial, they told me I should like it. And it was just awful.
Stay tuned. Something awesome's going to happen. I mean, they didn't say that in the commercial, but they might as well have said it. I'm like, something amazing's going to happen. But then, I mean, But think about the premise of Thundercats. Okay, we're a bunch of cat people, and we crash land. Or were they on Thundera? I'm not the biggest Thundercats fan, nor am I like really knowledgeable about the mythology. I just kind of looked at it like, nah, not for me.
No,
I'm good.
Yeah, no, Snarf was really bad. Especially it was like you would say 2 words and then say your name, and then think everything was okay after that, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd be like, Travis, I need a beer. Travis. Like nobody does that ever. But I think we should just kind of like with Snarf, I think we should maybe if we don't pay attention to him, he'll go away and disappear.
You would think,
but it doesn't.
No. But no, he was like an integral part of every episode.
Yeah, because he fucked something up, just like Orko.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad.
What do you got next, Joe?
Oh man, by going through this and researching some things I just found out that there's an Uncle Marvel.
Uncle Marvel?
Yes.
Yes, there is an Uncle Marvel. He's in the same outfit. He's some old guy.
I mean, he looks like he's gonna give Popeye a hamburger. And
I never see him show up on anything. Yeah. Okay. So
I mean, just by visual reference alone, Uncle Marvel's probably got to be the worst.
We'll take a second. Go look at it. Maybe I'll put it up. I don't know. I don't want to look it up because he's that worthless. He's a worthless character. I mean, the whole Marvel family, do they all fall into the category of worthless? I mean, the only one was Freddy, and he and Mary were actually cool, but then there's 14 other ones.
Yes.
I'm like, well, if you split your power up that much, you're not going to be that much stronger than when you are. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, he seems quite useless.
Next up on my list is Alpha 5 from Power Rangers. Yeah, we get it. We get it. You're a robot. You're kind of going around doing stuff. But, besides going, and freaking out about every little thing, you really didn't do anything Zordon kind of carried you.
I really think that he was just Zordon's janitor.
So he's like R2-D2, but not cool.
Yeah. Well, he was a cross between R2-D2 and C-3PO. But
no, those were both utility. I mean, C-3PO did all the translating, but even though most of the time in Star Wars, there's at least one person that understood what they were saying, except for the fucking Ewoks. C-3PO knew the Ewoks. That's about it. I mean, I got nothing. I'm just...
Well, I don't know. I'm looking on here that there is also another Alpha sidekick. It was a Spider-Man sidekick.
A Spider-Man had a sidekick?
Spider-Man had a sidekick named Alpha.
Alpha?
Yeah, he's overconfident and way too sure of himself. And at one point, apparently, he starts to ignore Spidey's direction and causes a whole bunch of problems.
I'm just going to come out and say it. Ratchet and Clank. I don't like Clank.
Was that a PlayStation game?
Yeah, it's a PlayStation. I know you don't play PlayStation.
I'm an Xbox guy.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, we all make Divergent Life Pass and
hey, you know what? Just like you're thinking, everybody makes bad decisions in their lives.
Okay, fine. I'll recant that. How about Oli from Game of Thrones?
Huh? Oli?
What
one was he?
He was the little prick. He was a little prick that sold Jon Snow out in Game of Thrones.
I'm not going to lie. I was drunk for most of watching.
No, are you talking craft beers, or are you talking just...
No, just straight up Miller Lite.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I didn't get creative on that one. I actually forgot about him.
Yes, he's that little dick.
He's very forgettable.
For the watch.
Yes.
For the watch. I'm like, you little fuck.
Now that you say that.
He's an asshole.
Yeah. No, I completely see that.
Now, can you imagine shit in your pants?
I remember now.
Like anything when a character comes back to life, I want to put myself in the shoes of the dickhead that was part of their death. Like, well, we stabbed him in the heart, and, well, is it too late to say I'm sorry? I think so. Yeah. So, Oli, you suck, and you're a worthless sidekick. Dawn Summers. Dawn Summers.
Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yes, I'm like, She kind of just popped up in season 5 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, Euro Trip.
She was good in Euro Trip. I enjoy that movie thoroughly.
I do.
But in this one, I'm like, was she too much teenage angst, do you think?
As far as the teenage angst, it wasn't teenage angst. It was teenage stupidity.
Teenage stupidity. Yeah, I'm gonna revolt against what? You have everything. Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, part of the biggest problem with her character is that, like, when she found out she wasn't real.
Yeah, she did.
There were several episodes where it was just ridiculous how she tried to, like, prove her worth, and it was just like one thing after the other, and she was just completely useless.
She was. And I can understand somebody wanting to prove their worth, like, I'm not real. I would more like try and find a way to become real. I just got like, well, I'll show them. What would life be like without me? I'm like, well, life did happen without you. So there is nothing wrong. It's going how it should be.
It's it's kind of like that episode of The Big Bang Theory when Sheldon's girlfriend points out the fact that everything in the Indiana Jones show could have happened without him.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
The glass broke, and it was completely ridiculous.
See, I never realized that. That show actually pointed it out to me. I'm like, well, thanks. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Nerd culture. Right. You ruined Indiana Jones for me.
Well, earlier this week I read a Reddit article that said that if you actually watch Big Bang Theory and you realize why Penny was in that show, and they said she is actually a spy and she's getting information from Leonard and everybody else in the whole situation. They say, go back and watch the entire show, and then you're going to totally see it in a different light.
Huh.
Yeah.
I got to go on Reddit more.
Yeah. Wow. It's a very good resource.
Well, I mean,
I've heard.
But I get it. I get it that that happens that way, but I'm at a loss for words. I got fucking nothing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go
no, it's okay.
Thing. I just thought it was, a little tidbit I could put in there.
Can you look through the Smurfs and see if there's any sidekick Smurfs? Because I think they were all equal status, except for Papa Smurf.
Well, I mean, there was, Jokey.
I
think that every
Smurfs kind of has their purpose.
Well, every Smurf was a sidekick
to Papa Smurf.
Sidekick.
Yeah, you think so?
And then only after when they elaborated and they brought in the little Smurfs that nobody had ever heard of.
Like before. The baby Smurf. Where the fuck did baby Smurf come from?
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was Smurfette and that was it. And I think Gargamel made Smurfette or something like that. But you got...
Well, I mean, at one point she was a brunette, and then she became blonde Smurfette. Which made her incredibly way hotter.
Yeah. She really kind of filled out at that moment. I really started noticing once she dyed her hair.
Yeah, she came into her own on that one.
And she stopped talking as much. I'm like, she started talking about equal rights and stuff. I'm just joking, ladies. I'm just kidding. But anyway.
It was real bad, Trev.
No, seriously.
I'd like to think that we're a little bit woke AF here.
Yeah, well, there's a disclaimer at the beginning. If you feel like you're getting offended, you're just gonna have to get over it,
or just stop playing the episode.
Exactly. Yeah. Or change it. Cut it out and put in something else.
For sure.
Well, they've been doing that with older things on Disney Plus, where they put new advertisement stuff in the background of shows. I'm like, that's essentially what they did with the special edition of Star Wars with the dewbacks. Nobody wants it. I don't fucking care that a dewback walked in the background and went, meh, and that's about it.
Well, I agree. Other parts of the Disney Plus thing was I didn't even realize anybody was smoking in Davy Crockett until they told me someone was going to be smoking in Davy Crockett.
Me either. I was actually more centered on the coonskin cap. I don't get it. I'm like, he's wearing a cool hat.
Yeah. I figured that if he was wearing the coonskin hat, he could do whatever he wanted to. So, regardless of the fact of whether he was having a cigarette or chewing tobacco. I don't.
Next up on my list of worthless sidekicks is Aqualad. Aqualad.
Well, seeing as the fact that the comic book rendition of Aquaman was pretty much completely
Different than
useless,
Super Friends.
I don't know. Until recent history, Aquaman seemed completely useless.
Yes.
I don't know why
They felt he needed a sidekick.
I mean, until he, like Jason Momoa took it over, I mean.
But, well, that's fine.
He's really hot.
We can honestly say it is one handsome man. I can come out and say that. That's fine. Smash. Well, anyway, I think with Aquaman kind of an Aqualad out, like you said, he was worthless. He's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
I mean, even in Titans, the only thing he did was die.
He did.
Yeah.
He showed up just long enough for Aquaman to look better than him.
Yeah.
It's like standing next to really ugly people.
Yeah.
We got next, Joe?
Who do I have next? What about Herbie from the Fantastic Four?
Oh, that robot?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm like, you had Reed Richards, the smartest brain in the universe, and then I got this robot.
Oh, hey, hold on. Let me create the dumbest robot ever.
Yeah, exactly. Herbie didn't know how to do shit.
I mean,
what's your purpose?
I mean, at
butter.
least Alpha 5 cleaned up Zordon's cage.
Or whatever the fuck. Was it a cage? I mean, I vaguely
it's
remember. It's
kind of like a Bacta tank.
It's like a Bacta tank, but it's like crystals or something. And I'm like, so you ripped off Superman and you ripped off Star Wars on this.
I think it had a lot of Wizard of Oz imagery to it there.
Yeah, well, giant floating head, I would say so.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bacta tank. Well, I'm going to stay on the superheroes trend on here on worthless sidekicks, and I'm going to say Robin.
Oh.
Robin. I'm not talking Damian Wayne Robin, because he actually is kind of a dickhead, and he's enjoyable in moments. I'm talking before he became Nightwing Dick Grayson Robin, and not from Titans, because Titans he kind of owned a little bit at the end.
I always just kind of had a problem with, a grown man running around with a...
Pantaloons.
a younger man in tights.
Well, you can honestly think about it. Batman's kind of an asshole because Batman's in like dark clothing and he's at nighttime. He's like, I'm going to put you in bright red shit.
And a big yellow cape.
And a big yellow cape. He might as well named him, I don't know, Decoy. Or maybe why do you call me Bullseye? Well, I can't call you Bullseye. It's used over there. Good job, Decoy. Make as loud as noises as you want. Start laughing. I don't give a shit. Right. Did I come behind him? Done.
I don't know. I mean, speaking of sidekicks, what about just the movie Sidekicks?
Sidekicks. Is that the karate one?
Yeah.
With the.
I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Chuck Norris.
No, Chuck Norris. It's got the kid from Sequest in it, right?
It does.
I think he died.
Huh?
I think that guy died.
Yeah, he did.
What did he? Drugs?
I
always thought rectal trauma.
Well, not from Chuck Norris.
No, not from Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris probably just looked at him the wrong way on set. He's like, done.
Also, starring Beau Bridges and Julia Nixon.
Beau Bridges. I haven't heard that name in a fortnight. And no, we're not plugging the game.
And that star you're speaking of is Jonathan Brandis.
Ah, very good. Yeah. See, I was going to say the cast of Sky High, all the sidekicks in the class, but I can't say that because they actually ended up saving the school and they're all sidekicks. So I digress on that.
I've never watched that.
Oh, no?
No. I didn't get the Disney Channel back then.
Better yet, we couldn't pirate the Disney Channel back then. Now we're well endowed and we know how to do this. Now, okay, so Voltron. Voltron. I want to say that the
Pitch?
Yep. Yep.
And those mice.
The mice.
I think that the mice were more useful than Pidge.
Yeah, I agree. Or the green one.
Yeah.
The green one was always bitching.
That was Pidge.
That's what I thought.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Fucking Pidge. Worthless. So worthless. Like, first off, Voltron. I liked Voltron. But first off, why didn't you just start with the sword? just start with the sword. Okay, we all know it's going to go and end in the sword. But no, hey, we're going to fight him as lions. Then we're going to come together as a robot. And oh, wait a minute, it's not going to work. Here comes the sword.
Well, I mean, for that matter, with the Robeast.
The Robeast.
The Robeast always started off small, then he got big.
Well, it's the same thing with Power Rangers.
Yeah,
I mean, how did she get her fucking scepter back when she threw it from the moon?
Well,
it landed, things got big, shenanigans
ensued. There's a lot of unmentioned things in Power Rangers.
Now, Silverhawks, there was a kid Silverhawk in it, and I get it, okay? The cartoons are meant for children. We don't need a bunch of, well, that kid's a Silverhawk. I can be a Silverhawk. No, you can't. You can't be a Silverhawk. We don't have that technology.
I have to disagree with you on that because I love Silverhawks.
I did too. I'm not saying.
And I really think that it is a undermentioned cartoon of my youth.
Silverhawk. Well, I never really understood the plot, man.
I don't know. It just looked cool.
It just looked good. Shiny.
They were in a jet.
One was in a jet.
Well, the guy was in a jet, and then they all flew in the jet with him.
But then they could go out in space.
And then they went out and they flew. But the guy that had the jet
played the guitar. He played the guitar.
He did play the guitar.
He had a cowboy hat on and a neckerchief.
Yep, he did.
And
it was
his name?
Very Matthew McConaughey.
All right, dude, I would totally cast him in his Silverhawks. All right. Well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go out here. We're gonna stop this intergalactic criminal. Yeah. Why is it smoky in the ship? Don't worry about it, man.
Don't worry about it. Take your pants off. We're playing the bongos. We might get a little sweaty in here.
And we were not cooking brisket. So next up is probably one. I don't like saying that this character's worthless, but because I enjoyed Scrappy Doo. He got a little annoying at times.
Scrappy don't.
He got a little annoying at times, but he looked up to his uncle. Kind of reminds me of me.
I mean, being an uncle, I can see how,
yeah, but
someone could look up to your uncle.
Yes.
I mean, it's good.
But, I mean, he really added nothing. I mean, like most sidekicks for cartoons, he got him into more bullshit than...
I mean, if you recall in that movie, he actually ended up being like the biggest, worst enemy that Scooby had ever seen.
Yes, and it went away from everybody's wearing masks to actual magic and fucking monsters.
Yeah.
That's not Scooby-Doo.
It was, well,
Oh, here's another one. Lewis from the RoboCop series.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
The female officer from the RoboCop series, that was Murphy's partner.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, first off, she might have been the catalyst for creating RoboCop because she's not good at her fucking job. She had him cornered, and then she got her ass knocked out, and instead of ambushing all the guys with her gun, she watched them like gangland execute him.
Well, I mean, the most terrifying scene of that whole movie is when they just shoot off his hand. And it's completely liquefied.
Yeah, he's like, no. I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? No, I disagree, Joe. I think the worst scene that fucked me up when I was little was, remember the bald guy? He ended up in all that toxic waste, and he's like, grr, kill me.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, whoa. Remind me to never go around toxic waste. Which my parents should always have fucking said, but they never said that. Yeah. See, when I was little, I always thought quicksand was the biggest problem.
Yeah.
When I was 5 years old, there's quicksand
everywhere. Didn't end up being as big of a problem as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
And in fact, I have never, ever been in quicksand.
Man, movies are bullshit.
Yeah. So I got another one for you.
Sure. Go ahead.
Gilligan.
Oh, yes.
Or was Gilligan the sidekick, or was it...
It's Gilligan's Island, so his...
Was his sidekick? Who was his sidekick?
Oh. I got nothing.
Yeah. I mean, Gilligan was a sidekick and the main guy at the same time.
God, that guy pissed me off. And I understand that was the point. Okay, I get it.
I mean,
but you got this...
He wrecked everything.
Yes, but this professor, I mean, he made a fucking radio out of a coconut. I'm like, dude, you could have cured cancer. If you made a radio out of a fucking coconut, he could have done so many things. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing just taking a 3-hour tour on a random-ass boat by yourself near Hawaii? I'm like, yeah, okay, you're on vacation. But where were you going? What were you doing?
I don't know. Every time I've ever gone on vacation or something like that, it's been a cruise.
Yeah, it's a cruise.
And
imagine if Gilligans Island is like a lot more darker. Like the other side of the island's all the people that didn't make it off the ship. Like, oh, we couldn't bury them all. I'm sorry.
As many people that showed up on Gilligan's Island, at some point you would have thought that it couldn't go, I think, 7 seasons?
We figured they would have not been a dick and told, like, yeah, there's a bunch of people on this island. You should go rescue them.
People came there and left and didn't say anything about it.
There was one episode in particular, like, I always watched it when I skipped school because it was on reruns, right? And they found a robot. I'm like, there happened to be a robot.
Wasn't it the exact robot from Lost in Space?
That or Forbidden Planet.
Okay, whichever one. The same robot.
It looked like Robbie the robot.
Yes.
Robbie the robot. Yeah. So anyway, they're like, we're going to put a message in it and send it back. And Gilligan's an asshole. He's like, oh, like the message was fucked up. And they're like, he's like, oh, I gave him my lucky rabbit's foot. I'm like, why the fuck did you give a robot a lucky rabbit's foot?
I thought it would give him luck.
Do robots even have luck? I'm not a robophobe, okay? For any robots out there, I'm not trying to offend you.
It's good. It's good to be woke.
It's too woke, bro.
Yeah.
I got another one. It's Luigi. Let's face it, Mario goes and he clears his house and Luigi's kind of just behind him. The only thing that they did was Mario is missing, and I don't know if you ever played that game. One of the worst fucking games I ever.
All right, well, here's the thing. Luigi was the person that your sister got to play.
Valid point.
Because you were playing, and they're like, I want to be able to play this. And then your sister got to be Luigi.
And then Mario 2 came out, and she could have selected the princess. And the princess was better than Luigi.
Yeah,
so
of course, because she could fly.
And yeah, you know what? I don't know. It's Luigi or Toad. Toad, little mushroom dude that fucking followed them around.
I mean, he could dig.
He could dig.
He could dig and too.
But he couldn't do anything for himself. They had a whole kingdom of them. You figure Bowser's invading that. Why don't you guys, like, I don't know, organize and fight back? But no, I'm gonna get a hold of this short, middle-aged plumber to come solve all my fucking problems.
And his slightly taller, useless brother.
Who's kind of gangly. And you're not sure if he's, if he's Italian or Mexican because John Leguizamo played him in a bad movie.
You're completely right.
I think. DuckTales. I love that cartoon. And
are you gonna talk about Launchpad?
Launchpad. He's got one job flying shit, and he's got like a checklist of shit he's crashed.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, Huey, Dewey, and Louie are completely out of control.
They're out of control. Yeah, I mean, if I was to raise my triplets like that, I don't have any triplets, but if I did, first off, I wouldn't do a matching name scheme on them, okay? And maybe same letter, because that's cool.
You know, Travis, I have twins. And
yes, but we
have a naming scheme going on here.
It starts with a J, but
I wish you would be more sensitive to my plight.
But it's not, but they're not rhyming. They're not rhyming.
I think they are.
Her full name's Genevieve.
Okay, you're right.
Doom.
You got me.
But I mean, like, you look at a lot of comic books. There's always this like sidekick that's kind of a, like let's face it, sidekicks suck in comic books. They really do. Like Bucky had to become a brand new character to be cool.
Well, I mean, Bucky was completely useless in the golden age of comics.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I got caught on a missile and I got blown up. Awesome. What else did you do? Well, that's about it. But then I didn't come back to life until like later on. But I don't know, Joe. I think you probably have one of the best examples of a sidekick that was it sucked. Now I said Robin. I said first Robin, but you referenced earlier before we started recording about another Robin that just everybody hated him so much they voted for him to die.
Was that Jason Todd?
Yes, Jason Todd. They had a call in. Now everybody's like, well, somebody used a robocaller to call in a bunch of times. So I'm like, you know what?
No, that was way before anything like a robocall.
I know.
could
That's
be.
why I kind of just look at people when they say shit. And I'm like, I like to prefer people to hang themselves with their own news. Yeah, this is, again, another character that had to, I don't know, basically die and come back as a different character to actually seem cool.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The another one that was I can't remember his name. Do you recall the Greatest American Hero?
Oh, God, yes, the guy who finds the super suit.
Yes, he finds a super suit that was provided by aliens. And Robert Culp. I can't remember his name on the show. I'm sorry. Bill Maxwell.
Bill Maxwell. He was a cop, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was an FBI special agent.
Yeah, kind of like Barney Fife, who's another awful sidekick.
Yeah, I mean, if Bill Maxwell had one bullet in his pocket and his gun was unloaded,
he'd probably shoot himself.
yeah. So,
and I would say Godzilla, Anguirus, from all the Godzilla, like old school Godzilla movies, Anguirus was kind of worthless. I mean, he was a sidekick, obviously. He became a sidekick.
are you talking about the little child?
No, that he was useless too, but that was his kid. I wouldn't say he was a sidekick.
No, not the child Godzilla. Remember in the one of the 35 Godzilla movies?
Oh, anytime there's a child in a Godzilla movie or a Gamera movie, they're fucking awful. I get pissed every time I see one pop up. Yeah.
The recent Godzilla stuff is amazing.
Oh yeah, dude. The MonsterVerse stuff is really, really good. I geek out every time some new entry shows up.
And I love King Kong.
Oh, King Kong's sweet. Doesn't have a sidekick. Neither does. I mean, Godzilla had a sidekick, but I'm talking about Anguirus. He was like the four-legged, had all the spikes on his back. He's just known for getting beat up.
I don't recall.
Okay, that's fine.
Apparently, your extensive knowledge of Godzilla far outweighs mine.
Well,
So I'm very sorry that I did not do my research.
that's fine. Now, would you say I would say like I'm gonna start not all sidekicks are worthless. No, there are some good ones. Like for instance, Igor from Frankenstein. He did all the heavy lifting and he actually served his purpose. He was moving shit. Never he was just there. And like he's like, "Hey, Igor, I need this. Hey, Igor, I need you to go dig up some dead bodies for me."
Yeah, he got shit done.
He got shit done. That's what you want out of a good, because you really can't call it. You can't call Frankenstein a bad guy in that. It was just like a cautionary tale, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, one of the best sidekicks ever, George Costanza.
George Costanza. He did steal the show. I found him funnier than Seinfeld on that show.
I did.
Yes. Just like, I don't know, Kato from the Green Hornet.
Yes.
He straight up kicked everyone's ass.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, I wish in the movie he would have beat up Seth Rogen, too, because I'm just going to say it. I hate Seth Rogen flat out.
Well, I mean, when the Green Hornet originally appeared, it was Bruce Lee.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So, let's not even,
Yeah.
greatest sidekick ever, Bruce Lee, as Kato.
You're like, yeah, this is my sidekick. Your fucking sidekick's Bruce Lee. No shit.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget the best sidekick in the entire world that has never, ever even said an audible word that you can understand. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
Chewbacca.
Oh, snap. There we go. That's the lock of the week. That's our lock of the week. Best sidekick ever is Chewbacca. Outlived the person he was being a sidekick for and found a new person to be a sidekick. Even though they kind of sucked. They kind of sucked when they went to the next person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just too bad. Let's just focus on the good parts of the Star Wars sequels.
Yeah. All 15 minutes of it.
I mean, in 9 hours of the movie, like seriously, there were 45 minutes.
Yeah, I would say that.
I mean, with even in the prequels, I mean, the first movie was completely useless until the sword fight at the end. I'm sorry,
Darth Maul.
lightsaber. When they killed Darth Maul, which set up several cascading events that were absolutely amazing throughout the entire series in Clone Wars, Rebels, and on.
Yes, because let's face it, those writers knew what to do with a really good character.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And I would say Anakin Skywalker, he falls in the category of that sidekick sucks.
Correct.
Don't get me wrong. I love Darth Vader. I love Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you love Anakin Skywalker?
Because
from what I've seen of Anakin Skywalker, I really think I don't even want to think. I really am glad that Obi-Wan had the high ground.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't shit the bed on that one. He
exactly
even warned it. I mean, like that's how bad of a sidekick he was. He warned him, I have the high ground. And what did he do? He jumped at him.
Yeah, that's how stupid he was.
Hey.
All that power.
You know, we're Jedis. We probably shouldn't get entangled with, chicks and stuff because we got this power. If we give into it, it corrupts us. No, I got this. Yeah, fuck it.
I mean, in his defense, did you see Natalie Portman?
In the white suit.
In the white suit in Clone Wars.
I think we've all seen. Well, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm pretty sure you've seen it too. So, yeah, I can't blame a guy. But then, you just kind of walk away from the whole, space wizard life. Because that's what they are. They're space wizards.
Pretty much. You got any other ones? Because I got a few.
Oh, go ahead.
All right.
Bad or good?
I'm talking about, these are great sidekicks.
Oh, great sidekicks. I got a couple.
Yeah. All right, well, go. I just did one.
Okay. I would say Tonto from the Lone Ranger. Lone Ranger.
Absolutely.
Tonto knew shit. He had his ear to the ground. In fact, I don't know.
Are you going to reference the Army Hammer?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Because let's face it, nobody watched it.
Tread lightly.
Nobody watched the Lone Ranger.
Because people were mad that Johnny Depp played a Native American.
Okay. Guess what? Leonard Nimoy voiced Galvatron. He wasn't a real robot.
Oh. He wasn't?
No, he wasn't, Joe. I hate to break it to you.
Okay.
But anyway, Tonto, even back then, he knew, in the old, TV shows and stuff. I caught some, I remember we watched a couple episodes in a film class I was in, and they were like, yeah, this is the classic example of a story playing out. I'm like, well, then how come that sidekick seems a lot more adept at doing shit than the Lone Ranger? That prick uses silver bullets. He could feed multiple fucking towns with his ammunition.
I just want to say he looked fancier.
He did look fancier.
When it came right down to it, he was way fancier.
Apparently, it's a popularity contest and not being able to do your job right.
I completely agree.
I agree.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Garth Elgar.
Oh. Well played. Well played. Yeah, Garth is amazing in Wayne's World. I wanted that belt he made that he shocked that dick guy at the bar. He's had a bunch of double D batteries on it and stuff, and it looked like a tuning fork.
Is that the first one?
Yeah, it was the first one. Excuse me, I'd like to get by now.
My favorite line from Garth was when he was like, if Benjamin was an ice cream flavor, he would be pralines and dick.
And he actually figured out that one guy, they kept on saying, I love you, man. He's like, no, I love you, man. He's like, just say thank you.
And he stopped.
He stopped. And then, he hugged them.
I could relate. Sometimes I get really drunk and I tell people I love them a lot.
FYI, he actually doesn't love you. I know.
Who you got up next?
Oh, geez. Good ones? That's really, really tough. I would say Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica, because he was kind of a sidekick to Apollo.
Are we talking...
I'm talking classic. I'm not talking...
Oh, you're talking... Okay.
Because, don't get me wrong, the new Battlestar was pretty good.
Yeah.
But, dude, that's Faceman. Faceman was Starbuck also.
Yeah.
Dirk Benedict.
Yes.
That's
Dirk
like-
Benedict. Yes. Yeah. He's a great sidekick.
Super sidekick.
All right. I think I'm just going to come up with the final and greatest sidekick that there ever is. And if you don't think he's a sidekick, then you really weren't watching the show.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Go on.
Mr. Dwight K. Schrute.
Oh, the Office. Yeah, but did it end up becoming his story afterward?
Oh, absolutely.
It did become his story.
Yeah.
But he started
Did you
off
see
as
the
a
last
sidekick.
3 episodes? He was running shit.
Yeah. So I'll give that to you, Joe, because yeah, he was. He started off as a sidekick and he came into his own. He does. It is a natural transition on there. Like I cannot agree more.
I mean, just all the things, like, you know. I mean, he even took, you know, the Michael Scott's mantras, you know, like, you know, don't do something stupid.
Don't do You know, I actually got into watching The Office later than a lot of people. Like, you guys had your Finer Things Club, and I had no idea what you were talking about.
You're not allowed to talk about the finer things.
I'll take a step back. I will take it.
Like, one of my favorite parts of that entire show is when Oscar says,
Besides being
being gay and having sex with men, the finer clubs thing is the gayest thing I do. Which is why we decided to make our own Finer Things Club.
Yeah, but you know, you forgot the he might be the best one, but a close second, Spock.
Oh, well,
I mean, Spock. I mean, some could say, well, he's not really a sidekick. He kind of owns on his own. But I'm like, yeah, you don't see Spock like with a list of ladies.
well, I mean, only during Kunpar.
Oh yeah, where you get super horny, crazy horny.
He's like, Spock must smash.
And also, we failed to mention Silent Bob.
Oh, yeah, you're correct.
Yes, Silent Bob is
a man of few words.
Yes, and most of them are hijacked right from better movies, such as No Ticket or anything like that. But I mean, they're all well played. Oh
yeah, I mean, even in Mallrats when he was like, excitement.
Yeah.
A Jedi craves not these things.
And then, you know, other notable ones are Dr. Watson. I mean, he didn't outshine Holmes, but he did his job. He wasn't an asshole.
Did his job.
Yep.
Did his job. You know another sidekick that did his job too? R2-D2.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. And it's kind of sad. It's a sad state of affairs that C-3PO has a sidekick.
I would say that R2 is Luke's sidekick.
What do you mean? Can you do 2 sidekicks at once?
I think you can. I want to say more than anything, C-3PO was R2-D2's sidekick.
Well,
only because R2-D2 was so badass that nobody knew what he was saying until C-3PO said it, and everybody was like, that's a great idea.
That's an epiphany. Why would you design an ant? But the thing I never understood about Star Wars is, why would you design a robot that you didn't understand? Like, it's a bunch of beeps. If you understand beep, you understand that. But, I mean, good thing this interpreter droid's right here. We get it.
You're very correct.
Well, I want to thank everybody for listening to the episode. Feel free to follow us on our social media channels, as well as subscribe to us on Podbean. And we will talk to you soon.
Good night.